is Yu-Chen Hsiao. Thank you very much for coming to my graduation recital. Before I play any of the pieces in tonight's program, I would like to share something about that I've been thinking about for 2 years here in Freiburg. For instance, one of the most important things is that how I can develop my personal connection to the music, thereby my interpretational skills. So in this process, I found there is something really interesting and worthwhile diving into. That is musical articulation terms. I would like to start with a bit of historical reference. Johann Sebastian Bach, great master, did not write any articulation terms or dynamic for that matter. Beethoven, however, wrote Etwas lebhaft und mit der innigsten Empfindung in fourth movement of his piano sonata, number 28, which can be translated to a little lively and with the most intimate sentiment. In his work, David's Bündler Tante, Opus 6, Robert Schumann wrote Hanebüchen, which originally means outrageous, not reasonable. But in the second version, he ironically changed into mit Humor, which means in humor, with humor in German. So, what's the connection between them, if any? Much later, in the late 20th century, composer Brian Fanihaw, he wrote very mathematically complex and strict rhythmical structure, but in an ambiguous manner, asked them to be played capriccioso or libero, which means freely, with fantasy, following one's own input. So it's actually two different ways of interpretation. In the piece you will hear later tonight, Safa, by composer Yannis Xenakis, also from the late 20th century, wrote no expression marks, merely a lot of notes in particular notation, as well as dynamics. But I learned from reading sources and listening to the recordings that he likes his performance to be savage, wild, uncultured, this kind of expression. In one of tonight's premieres, The Locked Enigma by composer Yining Lo, also my friend, she marks airy in fourth movement, The Door of Tears, which means strange, weird. Am I supposed to feel like that when I'm playing this piece? Going through some of these examples, I've been thinking further what can they actually mean. Not only in concrete linguistic terms, but also what emotional content one can put into it while performing. How can we decipher all this text, strange graphics and signs in the musical text, and then translate them into a physical choreography as we play? Should I somehow stage or pretend these feelings? Or should I experience each of them in order to convey them convincingly? I've tried many different ways to match these articulation terms and the music I make. Not like, okay, there's something in the score, but I don't care. And I just practice do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. I think that we, as interpreters of notated music, should take care and respect every tiny thing in the score. And not just think about the articulation terms themselves, but also the multiple meanings and histories connected to them. For me, this has been one of the most important things of building my own interpretation. Now, let's just randomly pick one articulation term. When you are in the orchestra, and the conductor says da capo, which means from the head. So you can imagine it's from the beginning. So you know that you should. Hello everyone, thank you very much for coming to my graduation recital. And before I play any of the pieces in tonight's program, I would like to share something about that I've been thinking 2 years here in Freiburg. For instance, one of the most important things for me is how I can develop my personal connection to. Now you get the idea. So now you know that the articulation term is very, very, very important. It not only shows what you should do in the music, but also shows the music should repeat or go forward. And in all kinds of metaphor articulation terms, I think those which related forte dynamics are really interesting and easy to be received. For example, you don't listen to what I say, you know it's a crescendo. For example, you don't listen to what I say, you know it's a crescendo. For example, you don't need to listen to what I say, you know it's a crescendo. For example, you don't need to listen to what I say, you know it's a crescendo. And now I'm saying this in a fortissimo because I'm sitting there really loud and you can clearly hear it. And if you know, I can't just stay like this for a long time because it's tiring. And if you play your music like this, you will just sound like blah 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 blah. It doesn't make any sense, so you need. So you need is dolce, sweet, tender, soft, like whispering to your lover. Now, there are still many other articulation terms that we can discuss, and in the future, I'll try to continue my research, looking into historical and modern practices, connecting them with my own experience, and then create my own interpretation to match the music. For me, it's so interesting to see these words in the score turn into a verbal, somehow meaningful and vivid sound. On a final note, I also wish all the musicians could have passion and be expressive, which in old school Italian words will be Thank you very much for your attention, and I really appreciate it. I forgot to mention the 3 that I learned this morning. First is sciarsi la gola, which means clean one's throat. Second one is prendi le baguette, which means take your mallets. And last one is attacca, which means go directly to next part, just like